Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back on into the Blue Collar Psychiatrist. Happy New Year to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say something to you now that may sound like it is a bit distrustful or even suspicious of other people. But here it is. Do not tell or divulge personal information to other people unless there is a specific reason to do so. For example, you might have to tell your accountant certain things that might be a little bit different from this year to next year, how much money you made, taxes, and so forth and so on. Obviously, that's different. You're going to tell your doctor certain things, obviously. But in terms of, shall we say, friends, or just people out in the street who you sort of know, but you really don't have a good knowledge of them, and you don't know whether to trust them or not, you're better off to keep these things to yourself, because the bottom line is this: most people don't give a damn about you. And worse, sometimes if you divulge certain personal things, they may, at a future date, when it suits them, spread that to other people. And this is not something that you would like. You don't want these other people knowing anything about it. So it's not a very wise maneuver to divulge personal information to people unless they can do something about it, unless they can help you in a certain way. I think that's the best way of putting it. So, ladies and gentlemen, be very, very careful about that. Something that I get a big kick out of is, for example, on New Year's, people will say, one person will say to another, "Oh, Happy New Year, Happy New Year, how was your New Year?" And of course, everybody says, "Oh, it was fine, it was great, it was this, it was that." How come nobody, of all the people, you can ask 1,000 people, "How was your New Year?" You will never or rarely hear, "Oh, my New Year's was terrible, it was horrible, it was a nightmare, I want to forget about it." You will never hear that, because people do not divulge those kinds of things. And frankly, they don't care about how your New Year was. It's just a way of saying, "Hey, how you doing today?" That's all it is. So be careful who you give information to, because without sounding suspicious, you don't know how that could be used against you at a later time, not only even to the person you told, but to somebody that heard that information from the person that you told. The sad part about this situation is that most people are out for themselves. That's it. They're not interested in anybody else. Again, unless it means something to them in terms of money or other issues that they find important. Most people could care less about other people. That's just the reality of life as I see it. And if that's the case, why in the hell would we go and divulge certain things that have, there's no reason for them to know these things. So that's why you're going to hear people say, "How was your New Year?" "Oh, it was great," or whatever, because people are not going to divulge it. If you said your New Year was lousy, they'd start asking you questions, or they might find fault with why it was lousy. They would blame it on you, or they might tell somebody else who knows you, "Oh, Larry had a horrible New Year's. It was terrible. It was a nightmare. I tell you, that guy, he can't get it together. He never has a good New Year." It can be spread. We don't want this type of thing to occur. So you have to be very, very careful about these kinds of situations. I think that the best way of handling it is to just simply say, "I had a nice time," without going to any further edification as to what you actually did. Because as I said, most of these people don't care anyway. And that's just the way it is. That's the way the world is. The "what's in it for me" mentality is widespread. What's in it for me? For example, when people join a certain club, maybe they want to learn something. If you're the membership chairman, you want to find out from that person, what's in it for them? Why do they want to join this club? Because, and you have to go right to the very heart of the matter, is their thoughts about what's in it for me, meaning the person who may join or is deciding to join or not join the club. So that's all that really matters. That's all that counts. I don't say that this is bad or good. I'm just saying that it can be used for bad if it is spread, if some news is spread against you. And that's why I say there's no reason to go into any detail about why certain things are a certain way. Maybe, as I said, something didn't go right, and most people, as I said, they don't care. In fact, they're not. You can tell they're not even listening. Their mind is somewhere else. Their eyes are not looking on you. They're not listening to you. So just be very, very cautious about who is the recipient of information that is private for you. Don't volunteer information either, because same thing holds true. People, again, can use things for you or against you, and you don't want to take that chance. So I say to you this: be very careful what you divulge to certain people, to most people, really, because frankly, it's not really their business. Could be used against you in the future. You don't know. And if they can't help you, there's really no purpose in telling them, because you don't want that other person to think, well, this guy's a loser. He had a bad New Year. He didn't know anybody. Couldn't go out. No, that's not what you want. That's not the face that you want to show to the public. Do as I say. Confine your divulging information of a personal nature to only those people you know well, or only those people who can help you in a certain situation. Ladies and gentlemen, I remind you to drink and drink abundantly from the fountain of life. See you next time.